Have you ever walked past someone and wanted to start a conversation, but your English stopped you? Maybe you knew what you wanted to say, but the words felt stuck, or the sentence didn't sound right. It's a common feeling for learners, the desire to connect, and the fear of saying it wrong. But the truth is, most real English isn't perfect. It's brave. That's why one of the most natural ways to improve your English is through storytelling. Stories show you how real people speak in the real world, when grammar is messy, emotions are big, and meaning matters more than mistakes. So if you're ready to meet English out in the streets, just like in this video, leave a comment and subscribe to NativeRoad. The sun was still low when Daniel stepped outside. Morning in the city felt different, cleaner, slower, like everything was stretching and waking up. He had no real plan for the day. Just a camera around his neck and his shoes tied tight. He liked to walk when his mind was full. The streets weren't crowded yet. Buses rolled by with foggy windows. Cafes opened their doors to the smell of new coffee. Shopkeepers dragged signs out onto sidewalks. And on one corner, near the steps of an old stone building, someone was already painting. Daniel noticed him from across the street. A man, maybe in his 30s, sitting on a folding stool, a large canvas propped against the wall. His hands were fast, brush, color, cloth, then brush again. On the ground around him were paint tubes, water jars, and two finished pieces leaning on the wall. Daniel crossed the street slowly. The paintings were beautiful. Not soft. Not peaceful. But full of motion. Faces that weren't smiling but still pulled your eyes in. The kind of street art that doesn't beg for attention, it earns it. Daniel crouched beside the wall, looking closer. The artist didn't say anything. Daniel wanted to speak. Just a small question. A compliment. Something. But his words felt heavy. His mouth filled with self-doubt. What if I say it wrong? What if he doesn't understand me? He stood there in silence for a moment too long. Then, quietly, he said, "Hi." The artist looked up, surprised but not unfriendly. He nodded once and kept working. Daniel took a breath. Then tried again. "Your work, it's powerful." The artist gave a small smile. "Thanks. You do this every day?" "Most days." Daniel paused. His grammar was shaky, but the question came anyway. "Can I ask why you paint people, not places?" The artist stopped. He looked at Daniel for a moment, really looked, and then said, "Places change. People stay with you." Daniel nodded slowly. He wanted to say more, but he didn't have the words ready. So he just stayed quiet and watched. The artist turned back to his canvas. For a while, the only sound was the scratch of the brush and the morning wind moving plastic cups down the street. Then the artist spoke again. "What about you?" Daniel blinked. "Me? You take pictures," the man said, nodding toward the camera. Daniel looked down. "Yeah. But not of people. I don't know how to catch them right." The artist laughed softly. "They don't need to be caught. Just seen." Daniel smiled. That made sense. Not grammatically perfect, but deeply clear. He stayed there for another 10 minutes. Watching. noticing, learning. Then he thanked the artist and began to walk away. Just before he turned the corner, the artist called out, "Hey!" Daniel turned. "You spoke well. Don't stop." Daniel gave a thumbs up and walked on. But something about those words stayed with him. Don't stop. Not just about talking. About all of it. And for the rest of the day, every time he lifted his camera, he didn't hesitate. He clicked. And this time, he didn't avoid people. He saw them. In today's story, you learned natural phrases like his mouth filled with self-doubt, crouched beside the wall, not begging for attention, it earns it, and they don't need to be caught. Just seen. These expressions are powerful and emotional, exactly how English is used in real life. Grammatically, you heard simple present, you take pictures, past simple, he looked up, Daniel smiled, and short, meaningful questions, me. You do this every day. The sentence "don't stop" shows how native speakers give advice using direct, friendly imperatives. We upload meaningful English stories like this every day. So like this video, subscribe to NativeRoad, and tell us in the comments, have you ever tried to start a conversation in English, even when you weren't sure how? See you in the next video.